Okay, here's our holding stone. Where's our bad spot at? Light went off. Can't see the mark, I rubbed it all off. I think it's right there. So you get over the edge here. So you gotta find the high spot. Make sure you clean all the grit off. I'm not sure if that was it or not. I think it was. Maybe not. Carb in this ring is not helping. Okay, it's gone. Now, one thing about rings, we sanded the top surface, so I don't even see where the rust was anymore.
Here.
I didn't own that part though, but that is the rust spot. That means there was some other high spots when we took them off, cleaned it up. Okay, so there's our rust spot. It's free now. Now, the top part of the ring doesn't really matter. It can be scratched up, grooved, makes no difference. The bottom side is what the sealing surface is. It pushes against the bottom of the piston groove. So the top of the groove doesn't really matter, the bottom of the groove does. So you gotta make sure whenever you're dealing with stuff that's marginal, if only marginal part is on the top, it don't matter. If the marginal plate is on both sides, then we got a problem. So if you had rust spots or pits on both surfaces,
use a different ring.
the bottom one is going to be the problem one, and that's when it's time to get another ring. When you got one spot on this one that was just high, a little bit of thing on it, big deal. Once I sand it down, I can hardly even see where it even was at, because it wasn't a pit, it was just build-up.
Surface.
It was build-up. So putting the ring in like this makes no difference on making the bike run. But now the ring, see, works freely.
Yes.
When the ring doesn't work freely, then we have an issue. So that's why we had to fix the issues. Okay, so now the second ring is way over there. I'm going to put that over here where I can see it, because that's the hardest part. And the other gaps are over here. One here, here. Okay, now we can put the cylinder on this way. Now that we have more room in the front than the rear, so we won't be fighting so bad. Okay, you got a nut down there? What, you got a lock washer on that stupid thing?
Yeah, that's what it came with.
What do you got lock washers on there for? You can't torque a lock washer.
That's how they came with the kit.
See how the bolts stick way up now? There's no room for a lock washer. Harley never used a lock washer in her damn bolts.
Well, I just got it in the Colony kit, so.
Well, just because it comes in a kit doesn't mean you use it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See, if I torque on that, what do you think's going to happen to that lock washer?
Flatten.
That thing's going to spread out right out like that and be done.
Okay. Take them off.
These are about equal side because they're all polished.
Well, that's the flat side.
You can see a little bit of the lip lift on it. So it goes like that. See, now it's flush. See, it's flushed out now instead of being like that. There's a second clue that didn't belong in there. There's no room for it. All of these were clues. So just because something comes in a package doesn't mean you use it. Just like any kind of, you buy any kind of part that comes with hardware, 99% of the time I throw the hardware in the trash because it's just a bunch of China hardware and worth crap. Half of it's metric, the other half's American. It's made out of unknown quality of steel, which we know is just going to be low. So we don't use any of that stuff. It's only if it looks like it's good hardware do you keep it. This one's got crud on it. So what was on your piston? You hit it with something? You got a ground mark in it.
Maybe from the scraper. When I was scraping it off.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. You scraped the carpet on top of the dome? Okay.
Yeah.
So what the hell was in there banging around to do that problem?
That was me.
I didn't know we had loose parts in this motor. That does happen though. Okay, where's our cylinder at? Brakes. Okay, so there's our cylinder. Mint oil behind me, assembly lube. So we just did it before, we do it again. There you go. Stretch it all the way around, see? Okay, this gasket's got the holes in the right spot. That's a plus. This gasket's probably going to fall down. Oh yeah, of course. So that means we're going to go ahead and put it down right now. Now it's out of the way, see? This keeps the broken rings from going on the motor.
Very good idea.
Yeah, well, only if you break rings, but yeah.
If you did break a ring and it was floating around in your crankcase, would that blow your motor up?
It'd cause a lot of issues in there. If the broken ring was just sitting in the piston, it wouldn't do a lot of damage, but eventually it would break the piston, but it'd run for a while before it caused a problem. It would have a lot of blow-by though.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a gap right here. Where's our other gap at? The other gap's way on this other side over here. Okay, so the first gap's going to be coming around this way. Once it drops in, I'll grab this gap on this side. For this, I'm going to get off my butt. So get down here and get better access.
This one back here, and you push it.
Didn't go in?
There, now it's in. It's sticking out. I'm holding it.
Watch your finger. Pinch my finger. Chin goes back up. Okay, see, we're right on top here. We got to pick the side to go on to. So I'm going to go on the back side, just like that. Just push it around like this as you're pushing on it. Of course, I don't have access to my fingers over there very well, but
I'm holding this side.
why don't you let go of that side so I can move my piston around. Here it goes. And the last little bit, you do your thumbnail.
There you go.
There it goes.
This one's a lot easier than the rear.
Just gotta lay them up where I can get to them. Okay, one gap's here, so I know that gap is on that side. We're already down on this side, so I gotta just kind of rock it around this other side to get the other gap in. So it doesn't want to go. Same problem as a gap over there someplace I can't see. And I can see it.
Well, it's being stubborn.
Yes, it is. Which usually means you got something wrong. Shouldn't be that hard to pull. Should just slide right in. See how it's jammed up?
Mm-hmm.
Something's wrong.
The ring's stuck.
Something ain't right. Something is not right on a narrow ring. Usually means the rings are overlapped. It means the middle segment ring is overlapped each other. These big ones don't overlap. It's too hard to do that. But something is not correct. I'm looking at it. See what the problem is. There's something wrong in there, obviously. Well, it looks like it's fine, but obviously you can see I was binding everything all up, so I know it wasn't fine. So I'm not sure what the problem was. I don't see anything obviously wrong. So we'll just try it again. See if the problem went away. See, where's my gap at? Right here.
You have another gap right here.
One at a time. It's not working that way. One. You want to push on the ring too hard and don't want all the weight of the cylinder lifting on it either. So the gap has to come out on that side, whatever it's at.
Gap is right here.
Okay.
Now it's on the oil ring.
Where's the gap at? I don't see the gap feeler. Do you see it?
No.
It's got to be somewhere. There's one here, so I know the other one's on the other side, 180 away. It's right there. There it goes. Okay. See, it rotates easier this time. I don't know what it was jamming up on, but something was not right before. That's why you always want to put the pistons on the bench. It's a lot easier. You stick them in here, shove the wrist pins in there, put the clip on it, slide it down, you're done. Doing it on a bike like this is a lot harder. You can use the ring compressor if you want. I don't usually use one unless I have to.
I can see why using the ring compressor though, there could be an issue that you don't feel with your fingers.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at feeling my stuff. See how it slides down pretty easy though? That's usually not a problem. But that's me because I do a lot of these, so I know what they feel. I know a good part and a bad part is. Other people don't know what the difference is. The problem with the ring compressor, it's in the way. It makes it hard. It's not like it's just easy to use. You need that screwdriver. So everything has its same issues with how these things work. So good enough. See the lip right there in the bottom? That's the flange that goes down. See, that's a hard one for him over there. The one for me, mine's going to be fun too. I got a distributor I got to deal with. He's got a regulator he's dealing
I'm gonna
with.
take it off.
Oh, that's cheating. I need 2 fingers. I need 2 fingers for this.
That's why I left it loose.
You have to have 2 fingers. You have to be able to use 2 fingers and not see what you're doing. See my view? My view is from this angle. Can you see the nut? Me either.
Yeah.
That was fun to take off.
Yeah, especially when I put Loctite on damn things. Then it really becomes fun.
Dirty stud.
You can't get it.
Not with my fingers.
Fingers are in the way.
No,
Okay, so I got clearance on the cylinder here.
Mm-hmm.
So always rotate them inward like this. One of the speed wrenches. See?
You have another wrench, I can do it on the back.
Oh, this is the one we got us cut down, I think. Can you practice doing this? See, I'm not even looking. I don't have to look at it. See what I'm doing.
Probably done thousands of these things, huh?
I've done a couple of them. Okay, that direction there. That one's down. Now this one over here is going to be harder to get to. Because what we need is an offset box wrench instead of this one.
I'm gonna go find that.
It'd be in my big
Oh.
toolbox.
Hey, I can see it.
Here you go. Here's yours. Once you tighten it down,
Huh?
your side, go to it. You're not going to find what we need over there.
You're on camera, dude.
I'm always on camera. I'm not as fast, or as smart, or as strong, or as good looking. I keep this one still.
See, this has our offset to it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it's never been ground down for clearance. See how it's made to clear the generator though? Luckily his cylinders have enough room, I don't have to worry about hitting on anything. That's because of reproduction cylinders that are made extra wide.
How tight do you want me to make these?
You gotta put them all down equal right now. You got them all down yet? Or you
Yeah.
got one tight?
Well, I got them all down.
Okay.
They're all showing a little bit of.
Give a yank on it. The other one's tight.
I haven't started on that one.
So it's proper torque on these.
Tight. As tight as you can.
Finger tight.
That's proper.
Is that the right torque?
That'll work. I didn't use the boot technique when I did it last time.
That's not the torque you use.
I like it. That's a good method. I have to remember that one.
As tight as you can get
The
it.
trick is you gotta be on a creeper to do that though. So if you pull too hard on the creeper though, then it slides. These should be torqued down in the 30s.
Want me to yank on these now?
Yeah, there you go. Long tool. That's good. Don't get too carried away. That looked pretty tight. How tight was that?
Not,
Do the back.
not as tight as it could be.
I don't know. I'm
Use
not
the boot.
yanking on it.
I could have gone more.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing because I'm not yanking. I've had guys look like you straining at a board to do anything. I go there and just loose. Give it 2 more turns. So how much actual torque you using? Yeah, like I said, I thought you got to torque them.
Is that your shoulder?
My elbow. That was a click wrench, wasn't it? Okay, get that one back there. Here, pull on this one, see how tight it is. Okay, that's how tight. That's over torque, that's probably about 40, 45 foot-pounds. That's close to 30s, isn't it?
That's about right.
Low 30s. Looks good. Okay, get the bottom one down there, I didn't get that one, did I? Remember, you gotta come back and retorque these after it runs a few miles anyway.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna move.
Seems like the last time I rode like 200-mile day, I had to retorque these a little bit, all of them.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
If they were torqued down, no. If they were not torqued, ever torqued.
Well, my torque and your torque is probably different.
I didn't use book torque, I used Tatro torque.
Yeah.
Okay, now these should move up and down relatively easily.
What?
The pistons.
Oh, well,
So
there's
if you turn the
pedal.
crank, you would know. We don't have access to the crank right now, do we?
We can turn it there.
Yeah, but that's not the same as the crank. It's pretty hard to turn this thing. It's really hard here. See how the cylinder gets lubricated by the piston as it comes up?
What a beautiful sound.
So, see the oil residue in there? So you can
I
either
do.
leave that in there and let the rings take care of it. I mean, the spark plugs, or you can wipe off the excess. So, see, it's relatively easily moving. You always put them right there so that way they don't get a lot of dirt in them. Now, when it goes time to put the head on, you will have to drop that down to this height here to make it go easy. It won't go over that dome right now. And right now we are on the, which one do you think is open and closed?
I can't see it, so I'd say that these are probably closed. These are probably open.
That'd be my guess. These look just a little bit higher than these ones.
Yeah.
Some of these were on compression stroke, front cylinder, overlap stroke, rear cylinder.
Perfect. It's ready to fire.
So don't adjust your valves in that position.
No.
And these should be all the way down so you can put the motor together easier. Oh, you're losing parts. After you get this in there, if there's any room between a lifter block and this, you can jam it in between here, but see, there's no room. So this one's just going to go between the push rod cover and the cylinder.
That's how I had it.
Because it's too tight to go the other way. I'm not sure why he's got this cable like this over here. That doesn't look very good.
It adjusts my distributor.
That actually does work.
It works. Some things do work on this piece of shit.
You're supposed to go from this direction like this, which is where the leverage is.
Wow.
Going around the back side like that, it's kind of a weird way of doing it, but
I had to work with what I had. My cable wasn't long enough.
yeah, well, that would be a problem. Could use this one.
That's my throttle.
You want that to work too? Oh, jeez.
I mean, it kind of works.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
See how that works? That actually pulls back? I think you push it back.
Well, I have a spring.
You get a pretty stiff spring.
It is.
That's why.
But it doesn't move while I'm riding.
No, that's what you want, no movement. I tightened up your drain plug so in case you forgot.
Oh, I wasn't going to forget.
Well,
But thank you.
that's why I tightened it. Don't leave your oil pump, your oil tank drain plugs loose.
No, I've had that happen before. That's why I
That's a
wouldn't
bad
forget.
habit to get into.
Yeah, it is.
You
I
always
know
want to
it.
make sure that your drain plug is tight. So when you're done draining, tighten the damn plug up. I've seen more than one bike go down the road with a oiling issue. People forget to, about 5-10 miles after they drain the oil, you have a knocking issue in their motor. Wonder why.
Well,
Harley's that same problem on new bikes, so I don't know what to deal with that. But
you know, the other yesterday, after I got home from here, in the morning I noticed there was a quarter-size splotch underneath the Sportster, and I look and the little stupid rubber line with the non-adjustable clamp that they've got
yeah.
had come loose a little bit. So I just
The squeeze clamp didn't squeeze very well.
so I had to get my own clamp.
All right, so we're still on the up and air what we're doing on these things.
I want to fix them.
You mean you want me to do a lot of work?
Well, you know,
That
the
valve
heads
is,
that you want to sell me, I don't like.
this valve is sunk way down there. We haven't found a good set for you yet. We got one good head. We don't have a rear head that's up any good yet. That one is sunk way, way down there. So you go level is here, and it's down there, see? So you have to open up your valve up that far before it even gets to zero, then you have to open it past that to flow. By then you're out of valve lift. So that's pretty sunk. All right. We definitely got to do something about this. Oh well, we got some issues on those yet. We're still on that time up on these ones. We're still looking for a good pair. At least I am. I'll keep looking for a pair until I actually fix these.
Oh.
That's how well. So you had the gaskets here. I'm not a big fan of this red silicone. So how much red silicone was in that drain plug?
About quarter inch.
Quarter inch of it was in the drain plug?
Mm-hmm.
So where else you got red silicone?
I had it on the base gaskets and
Lifters here?
no. I didn't put any there.
On the cylinder base?
I did.
Okay.
And as far as I can recall, that's it.
And the rocker boxes.
Yeah, there and there, but I don't think I have any on the cam cover.
Alright.
What's that?
I said alright.
Put that in your pasta.
That's the problem with silicone. It doesn't break off.
Put it on your pizza.
It takes a lot to break a piece of silicone. It plugs up a lot of stuff, like a big rubber band. So, it's like a big rubber band, it doesn't break up, it does like to plug holes up. So what happens is there's a drain back holes inside the head here. They go down those cylinder holes that we were looking at earlier. It goes into the crank, then it goes through the engine breather, then it goes through the cam chest, then it goes into the oil pump, it goes back up to the oil tank, through the oil filter you don't have, and into the tank, and then it builds up in the bottom of the tank. So it's a long route to get the silicone from wherever it was to where you found it.
Traveler.
Yeah. Whereas a 3-bond I use, it breaks up. It pulverizes and kind of goes away. That's why I don't use this stuff.
Well, now I know better.
See how it's just stringy stuff. So this stuff just goes everywhere. I've seen inside of flywheel oil galleries going up the rods. They'd be packed in there so deep, they'd be solid for this much length inside the oil gallery.
Oh my.
And I don't know how many years it was shut off the crank pin, but it was enough to get all the way through the flywheel and start going through the taper, the 90-degree turn, and going up to the rod.
Oh my goodness.
It's halfway around the damn turn where it shoved the silicone all the way through the big plug.
Wow.
It was over an inch-long turd when I blew it out. It took a lot of air pressure to blow it out. It didn't want to come out. It finally went boom, and it came out hard. And a big snake came shooting across the room.
Dang. That's a souvenir right there.
So that was the rod was not getting quite full oil control there.
No.
Luckily, Harleys don't need a lot of oil pressure to run, so
You just need a little bit
the
of
drain
drips.
back down the cylinder was enough to feed the rods.
Jeez.
Because the rod bearings didn't look that bad, even though it's splash lube, so it's like a Briggs & Stratton. Splash lubricated. That's how they're lubricated, splash.
I mean, even the M8s are still like a lawnmower design,
Yeah, more advanced, but yeah, not much.
pretty much.
So this one had the thick gaskets in there, it looks like.
Yes.
Dick
Still
paper.
usable.
These are genuine James. The problem with the thick gasket is, on the old day, they were like cardboard, and the oil would go between the gasket. Go right through the center of the gasket and blow out. So you use a thin gasket, but the thin gasket didn't seal very well because the covers are uneven and they wouldn't compress and fill in the void over here in the corners. So they both leaked. The cork ones, they seem like a good idea, with especially the steel segments, they don't blow out. The ones without the blowout, they blow right out. But when they put the steel piece in between them, they didn't blow out, but the problem was they just collapse down, they shrink down to nothing, and they leak anyway.
And over time, they will wear out.
So everything they made is different. The James thick rubber gasket, like the ones you're probably going to use, you know, they have the problem is they're so damn hard, they don't conform to the cover very much. So you got to make sure the cover's flat before you put it together.
Oh, I had a hell of a time with my covers.
But it doesn't blow away, and it doesn't get hard or seep or do any other problems. So once they are sealed, they stay sealed for a long time. But it's kind of a problem until they do that. The big advantage of them is it puts the pan cover up above the valve spring here. So if you have a high lift cam where the valves are sunk, it doesn't hit the valve collars.
And you can get your...
See the shiny mark right here? That's from hitting on the valve cover. So one of those covers should have a mark on it.
It does.
So if you put the thick gasket in there, it raises up above that, and it clears it.
And I don't have the felt in that one either.
Because the cover
because I couldn't fit it.
The cover right here has a radius in it, see? So when the collar gets above here and gets up in the radius, it doesn't hit no more.
That's the rear one. The front
So
one
that
didn't have that.
was one of the big advantages using those once they came out of those thick gaskets. It makes it hard to put the thing in the head, motor in the head, because you lose clearance. But
It was like a 1/8 inch.
and you got to stack like 3 damn gaskets on top to make them so they do anything. The felts, one doesn't work.
Really?
In your case, you had none.
I couldn't fit it.
But it really does make it putting cams and bikes a lot easier. I used to have to dimple the shit out of those covers all the time. Pain in the ass. No, you don't have to. All right, that's it for tonight on this project.